Hey guys, some stupid sketch show guy here with another video. Now, if you think my voice is deepening because I'm going through puberty, that's incorrect. I just woke up in the morning and I wanted to make a video. So, yeah, those rumors are officially closed. Anyway, on to the review. Now, this review is going to be on another Collecta figure. One of the two Collecta 2018 figures that I own. The Collecta Deluxe 2018 Dimetrodon. Now, some quick paleo facts on Dimetrodon. Dimetrodon is an early Permian synopsid, which name means two measures of teeth. This is a reference to the two types of teeth that are clearly present in its mouth. Now, with the paleo facts over with, it is time for the prehistoric question. Now, true or false? We are more related to Dimetrodon than Dimetrodon is to dinosaurs. Type your answer in the comment section below, and I'll tell you the answer at the end of the video. But for now, let's get into the review of this figure. First, we have to go with paint job. Now, on its own, green, cream, and tan is not a bad color scheme, and I kind of like it. I think it looks good. As well as that, the paint on the teeth are very well applied, and also the paint on the gums is very natural and looks really, really good. But the problem for me has to be how often Collecta does this color scheme of cream, tan, and green, because they actually did do this color scheme twice in 2018. Both were on Paleozoic creatures, and this one wasn't done as well. If you're wondering what the other one was, it was the Collecta Esteminasuchus. I think that one has a better version of said color scheme. And okay, fine, it's not 100% the same because it's more green than tan. But I think that green makes it look even better than tan, green, and cream. If they got rid of the green, I think I would have liked this figure a little better. But it's not a bad color scheme, it's just too familiar and overused. And for that, I give it a 7 out of 10. Next up is the pose. And I think the pose is a great example of something that has not been done before on a Dimetrodon figure. Because if you look at the Safari Limited 2018 Dimetrodon, they made one too. But instead, its feet were more sprawled out. As you can see, its feet were more sprawled out. But in the Dimetrodon's case, they're more below its feet, kind of like an upright standing crocodile. And recent footprint evidence has suggested that this pose was more likely how Dimetrodon standed, not the alligator-like position where it's really low to the ground and dragging its body around. And I do like the Collecta decided to take this pose over something like what Safari Limited did. Now, don't get me wrong, the Safari Limited Dimetrodon is still a good figure. It's just that I think the Collecta one did better when it came to posing. So, for that, I give the pose an 8 out of 10. Next up is scientific accuracy. And oh boy, this is a huge strong suit of this figure. For one, I believe that the skull is 100% correct. Like, it has everything down to the finest detail, including how the teeth are done. Like, the teeth are done correctly, the skull is correct, the legs are positioned in the more accurate positions than most other figures, and I think the most accurate part has to be the small little protrusions out of the sail. Recent evidence shows that the very tips of Dimetrodon's sail probably stuck out, rather than just be one big sail, like, as said before, the Safari Limited Dimetrodon. Although, to be fair, the Safari Limited Dimetrodon does, at least, give a spiky little appearance. But I do like how Collecta went the extra mile to make it as scientifically accurate as they could. Now, I currently don't know any major scientifically inaccurate issues with this figure. If you know something that I haven't mentioned, then comment it down below. But for now, just to make sure that I'm not giving this thing too much accurate credit, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 for scientific accuracy. And lastly, it's the detail. Now, the detail is something that I think isn't the best part of this figure. Now, if you can see here, there are some good scales, but those are some big scales, you know? Like, as said before, look at the Safari Limited Dimetrodon. Now, the Safari Limited Dimetrodon is a better example of how to make a scaly synopsid, because it is absolutely covered in scales with not a dull moment on it. However, the lacking of scaling detail, or the lowering in scaling detail compared to the Safari Limited Dimetrodon, might have worked in its favor, because it has also been considered not accurate or not likely that Dimetrodon had scales in the first place. So that's another thing that could be correct, but I'm not 100% sure. For now, these scales just look okay. I think the scales look a lot better on the belly. Like, this is good detail. This is good detail. However, I wouldn't say that the detail on here is bad. And, to be fair, the lacking in scaling on the front kind of helps support the idea that it had elephant-like skin rather than scales. But because it does have scales, it almost makes it look like it's having an identity crisis on whether it wants to be scaly, like most Dimetrodons, or elephant-skinned, which I think is a problem. However, where it knows where it wants to be, it does a great job, because this is good. However, it's okay. It's just okay, though. Overall, for detail, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. And now for my overall thoughts. So overall, I'd say that the paint job is not bad on its own, but has been done better on other Collecta figures. The pose is pleasantly surprising and very good, and more likely to be scientifically accurate. The accuracy is on point from what I can tell, from the skull, to the legs, to the sail, to the tail. And the detail, while good in some areas, isn't so good in other areas where I just don't think it looks as good. So for that, overall, I would give this figure an 8 out of 10. Man, that's the highest I've ever rated a figure. Since it did get an 8 out of 10 and no other figure I've reviewed has gotten such a high rating, I think that this figure deserves at least some sort of reward. I think that we should give it the first ever sketchy seal of approval. Go buy this figure if you want. I highly recommend it. And now back to the prehistoric question. It was true or false? Synopsids like Dimetrodon are more related to humans than they are to dinosaurs. If you said true, you are correct. Synopsids are actually pretty distantly related to dinosaurs, and are more closely related to us. So theoretically, that means that our 100 millionth great-grandfather could have been a Dimetrodon. Although that might be stretching it just a little bit. But I hope you enjoyed today's prehistoric figure review, and comment down what you want me to review in the next episode. See you guys next time. Bye!